them long to find what Sanson was talking about. It was a small lake and an extremely radiant one at that. At the bottom of the lake was a floor made of glistening and different colored crystals, all made to be perfectly smoothed by Sanson, like an underwater rainbow. In the lake itself swam dozens of colorful fish, of all different kinds of shapes and sizes. Lastly, there was a giant sword-like crystal sprouting out of the center of the lake. The sun would beat down on it, and it would shoot out different colored beams of light all over the place. "Welcome to Radiant Lake," Sanson said, showing off the lake. "Wow." The three other girls looked at the lake in awe. "It's beautiful," Connor gasped as she flew up over the lake and took a better look. "I've never seen anything like it." The amount of work and dedication that must have gone into this. Not just the crystal and the fish, but the water was pristine. "Did you get this water from 3 places?" Sansa nodded, very happy that she noticed that. "How many crystals did you use for this?" Fuku asked, unable to take her eyes off the lake. "How many crystals do you even have? Is there a secret crystal mine around here?" "As an artist, I must admit, nothing I've made has matched this level of beauty," Shiroku admitted, with both pride in her sister and frustration in herself. "You cave as well. The devotion you have to your art is almost as beautiful as the art itself. I can't imagine how much time it took to make this." "Months," Sanson said. "Lots and lots of time." "Indeed," Shiroku said. "While I know the idea might be a bit tasteless, I would like to make a dress based on this. Would you mind if we borrowed some crystals?" Sanson gave a thumbs up. "Wonderful idea, Lady Shiroku. Let us get to work immediately," Hana said as she flew back down, with a big grin on her face. "I feel absolutely inspired." "Yes, sir," Hinata said somewhat nervously, sounding rather nervous. Now that she was a servant of Kiba, she'd been cleaned up and given a new Kiba-like outfit by Shiroku. "Allow me to introduce her, my dear minions. This is Hinata. She was not adopted by caretakers, but she swore enough to serve me for eternity." Kiba explained. "From now on, she is my sword. And as my sword, I would like to test what she can do. So I'll be testing her against 2 formidable opponents. Why does Lady Kiba need a sword? Can't she make a sword out of shadows? Seems kind of pointless." "Now then, enough wasting time," Kiba said. "Hinata, transform." "Yes, Lady Kiba," Hinata said, jumping at Kiba while transforming into a sword, allowing Kiba to catch her. "Now then, let out 2-on-2 battle begin," Kiba said. Immediately, Sanson's shadow rose up and trapped Sanson in a shadow ward. "Oh, look at how easily I can deal with her. Now that my quirk's power is fully awakened." Kiba laughed haughtily. Although it was somewhat of a bluff, as while she could keep Sanson contained with shadows, she couldn't do that forever. All her powers were connected to her blood storage, so the more she used them, the more blood she used and the less power she had. And with Sanson drilled against the walls of her shadow ward, she needed to find a way to deal with the fast. Speaking of dealing with things, Fu had finished taking his light extract and transformed into his more powerful form, and shot out Kaiosia tendrils at them. Kiba sliced the tendrils with the knife, grew wings, and flew backward. With each tendril she cut, she felt something flow from the sword into her. It felt like she was drinking blood, without drinking blood. "Hinata? What is this? What's going on?" "I don't know, Lady Kiba. Maybe this is one of my abilities?" Hinata suggested. "I'm sorry, I don't know anything more about it." "That's fine. That's why we're experimenting," Kiba said as she continued cutting tendrils, noticing that the tendrils were starting to come from slowly. "Something wrong," Kaiosia said to Fu. "I know," Fu said as she stopped his tendril attacks. Every time Kiba cut one of their tendrils, Fu could feel energy being taken from Kaiosia, and by extension, him. Kaiosia needed to take more energy from him and thus needed to eat his organs faster, making him use more of his meat storage. "Is Hinata taking our energy? Huh. A vampiric blade. How appropriate." Slice! In a flash, Kiba had rushed towards Fu and sliced him in half from the waist up. Fu's upper half started to fall off, but Kaiosia held in place. Kiba went to slice him again, but Fu jumped back. "Stop," Fu said. "My regeneration stopped for a second. If you keep cutting me, I might not be able to regenerate at all." "Oh." Kiba stopped her attacks, That makes sense, Kiba said. I'm sorry Lady Kiba. Hinata sincerely apologized. No, don't feel bad. You've just proven far more valuable than I first thought, Kiba said. Speaking of which, before we end this, let's try something else. Kiba released Sansa from the shadow bubble, and immediately the wicked girl rushed at her. Slice, 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 slice. In an instant, Kiba cut Sansa a dozen times, stealing energy from her with each swing. Ha, Sansa said, although her speech was sloppier than usual. She stopped her attack and took a second to analyze herself. Her body felt more difficult to control. Keeping herself turning into a puddle actually required a good amount of effort. Is she giving even Sanson trouble? To OP please nerf. Where did she find this girl? Is Sanson going to be okay? Looks like Hinata's energy-draining powers work even on you dear sister, Kiba said, looking at her blade. Alright then. Let's go pay the lab a visit shall we? XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX tell us about what's going on? Kiba asked as Hinata, Sanson, and Fu stood behind her. While I was going through the tests and looking over the research, I can confirm that there is far more to Hinata's quirk than just turning into a strong sword, Mai explained. First of all, when you first decided to wield Hinata, did you feel anything? Yeah, it felt like something was connecting to me, Kiba explained, trying to recall that time. That makes sense. You and Hinata's chaos energy signatures are connected to one another. Similar to how the Cerberus sisters are connected, but not the same. Mai explained. It seems Hinata established a link with you when you bonded, making herself into chaos energy, an extension of you, changing her appearance and even her chaos energy by taking in yours. Not only that, it seems that your chaos energy has also altered her abilities, giving her the extra ability of absorbing the vitality from others when she gets them, and giving it to Kiba, to act as a substitute for blood. So Kiba can maintain her own strength while draining others. Is this vitality stealing permanent? Kiba asked. And why did it stop Fu from regenerating and Sanson from moving? Vitality is basically a person's energy. And all living things need energy to do anything. Mai explained. When you slashed at Fu, you stole some of the energy he needed from his regeneration to work. Although due to the nature of Fu's power, it restored itself rather quickly. Although if you continued to attack someone with Hinata, you could stop their regeneration altogether. As for Sanson, her quirk requires energy to make her body move and keep her alive. If you slash her too much, she won't be able to move. And if you slash her even more after that, she can Well, Sanson said. But you shouldn't have to worry too much about permanently hurting either of them, he said. Vitality recovers naturally on its own. So as long as you know when to stop, you should be fine. Alright. So that means we can keep sparing. Kiba celebrated. Let's go, everyone. Back into the sim room. Fu sighed. You just had to get another power-up, huh? So, how are things going at school? Izuku asked Ochako as they indulged in tea and snacks. TFT, Ochako giggled. You sound like such a dad. Wow, that makes sense considering you're mostly with children. Izuku laughed sheepishly. But seriously, how are things going with you all? I think you're going to be getting your provisional license soon. Well, we'll be having the test soon, Ochako said, drinking some tea to calm herself after being reminded of the stressful exam she'd be undertaking. Not sure about passing it. Have more faith in yourself, Izuku assured her, smiling confidently. I can't give any details, but I have a feeling you'll do well on the test. Ochako raised an eyebrow. Izuku, did you have a hand in the test? They did ask for a bit of my help, but nothing I can tell you, Izuku said. Only if you give it your all, and stay true to yourself, you'll pass. Did All Might teach you how to give vague advice? Ochako asked jokingly before her expression turned serious as she remembered something. Oh right, speaking of All Might, I asked him about the past user's quirks, and he gave me this. Ochako pulled out a notebook and opened it up to a page filled with quirk names and notes. Black Whip allows the user to manifest a black energy whip from their body. Inflow allows the user to impart their vitality into objects and detonate them. Gear Shift allows the user to alter the speed of anything they touch. Glow makes the user's body glow. FA Gene allows the user to build up kinetic energy through repetitive movements that can be released in an explosive burst. Danger Sense allows the user to detect nearby attention back to Ochako. Other than Black Whip, no, Ochako said, extending a very tiny black tendril out of her wrist to show the extent of her control. I'm not even sure how to activate them. Well, how did you activate Black Whip? Izuku asked. I was fighting Gamma too. Ochako tried to bring herself back to that time. And I was really frustrated about not being able to catch him. Right. Emotions are linked to quirks, so try just feeling it out. Izuku frowned as he realized how little help that advice was. Sorry, that really wasn't of any use, was it? Not really, but thanks for trying. Ochako laughed. Izuku smiled at her. I'll always try for your sake. Remember, no matter how hard or frustrating things get, I will always be your ally. Ochako couldn't communicate just how much of a relief that was to her or how happy she was. And so all she could do was blush. And then her body suddenly went up like a light bulb, or rather, like a couple thousand light bulbs. What? Now, Ochako closed her eyes, and Izuku covered his face. Both of them blinded by the powerful light coming off Ochiko's body. Whoosh! Huh? Fire! Is there a fire? Ochako panicked, still unable to see anything as the heat coming from her light even melted everyone around her, setting on fire. It was also forcing Izuku to walk back. Ochako, calm down. Sorry, a little help here. Izuku yelled. Ochako eventually managed to calm herself and stop the light, not before setting Izuku's office on fire and getting severe wounds. Just another day at the